Well, it seems that more information is coming out about the shooting here in Atlanta, Georgia. And we're finding out more and more. They have now named two of the people that have been killed, unfortunately, have lost their lives in this very tragic event, of course. And they are now, the authorities are now, for the first time, admitting to or acknowledging that motorcycle clubs were involved, and this was a motorcycle club gathering. So the police also say that they are very close to making arrests in this case. So there's a lot happening here, and we will be talking about some of that here in about a minute and 7 seconds when we come back. We're also have a treat this morning. We're getting ready to interview one of the most prolific riders of our time. His name is Reef, and so the second half of the show we'll be sitting here. He's known from coast to coast. Many of you guys know him. He is an inspiration to us all. So it's really cool to have him on the show. So after we go through the story today, the main story, we'll be having him on. So stand by, man. And we're going to be interviewing so many cool people as we're on a new season. Interview. So if you want to be interviewed, or you know someone that needs to be interviewed or deserves to be interviewed, let me know, because we're going to have them on the show. So anyway, we'll be back in a minute and 7 seconds. We'll be talking about this story. Two dead have now been named, and motorcycle clubs are involved in this shooting that happened somewhere in Georgia, a place called Forest Park. We'll be talking about that when we return in a minute and 7 seconds. Listen, thank you guys for hanging out with me since 2016. Be right.
Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Get yourself educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe to get updated Biker News with MC Protocol. A lot of phonies popped up when this YouTube Biker News craze came about, but the man on this channel is the first to do it and the only one that never sold out. His name's Black Dragon. Started in the day of the kids, he revving Uncle Sam. They traded that uniform for the vest from the Mighty Black Sabbath. Not the band, I'm talking about the Mighty Black Sabbath. MC, we're paid his dues in the artist stripes, from prospect all the way up to national peace. All the copycat creators and the content stealers and haters, there have been many, but there's only one larger than life. Like Michael with the cowboy hat, the nose kung fu and says kick Kenny. Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Get yourself educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe, and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol.
I'm Black Dragon. Welcome to Black Dragon Biker TV, the Black Dragon Biker News Network. Biker news you can use, biker news and biker views with my co-hosts, Lavish T. Williams and Logic, Reverend Logic from Keep It Logical, Lavish T. Williams from the Lavish T. Williams Show, and we have our brother Reef on, former Navy Senior Chief. What's up, Senior Chief?
Living a dream, man. Living a dream.
Man, retired out of the military and just riding motorcycles around the world for a living. Is that cool or what?
It has its ups and downs.
What could be down? What could be down about that other than a broken motorcycle?
As my grandmother used to say, I'm on a fixed income.
Oh,
I'm on a fixed income. I can't go out and work no overtime.
Yeah, your income is fixed at a good level. What's up? My brothers are wearing their military hats today.
I wonder why.
I wonder why. We got the
Y'all started it. Y'all started it.
the Space Force Air Force guy on here.
Ain't no Space Forces. The
We
mighty
we,
Air Force.
we have the part-time military dude on.
Whatever.
Well, we love the Air Force. I mean, there's do y'all work? Y'all got equestrian trails on your Air Force bases? What the hell?
Let me tell you why. They treat us well because they have to continue to massage our brilliance. Massage our brilliance and how we handle combat situations.
Well, y'all would know combat if it bit y'all on the ass.
Hey. You can't tell anybody from the Army and the Marines they don't need the Air Force to soften up the road. They'll soften up the road and then bomb the trains and supply tracks.
They don't, because the Navy can do it all for them.
Yeah, that's right. We deliver them and we soften up the.
Whatever.
And we take our base. We take our Air Force base with us. So
yeah. We call it a post.
That's a good one.
Oh my goodness, we're not gonna pick on each other all. we won't have a show if we pick on each other all day. We were all on the same team, man. We were all on the same team.
Yes, we were.
I'm proud of my brothers and stuff. It's good to have you guys on here. Listen, today's story. Let's cover this. This is local for me here in Atlanta, so. We get to see what's going on here. So we're going to cover a few of the news channels here. Add this to the stage, and we'll just get started right here, and we'll go on with this. So moving forward here.
Atlanta News First starts now with breaking news.
Breaking now at 3. We're learning more about.
Damn. Okay. Tracy. Okay, Tracy.
All right, I gotta go to her Instagram page.
Damn, Tracy Hutchins.
I gotta go check her. I gotta go check her out.
She got an hourglass on right there. Damn, girl. Okay, this is gonna be a good news story. Okay, here we go, Tracy.
About what led up to a deadly shooting during a motorcycle gathering in Forest Park. I'm Tracy Hutchins. Forest Park police have identified 2 people shot and killed over the weekend at that large gathering. Atlanta News First anchor Chelsea Baumfor is at the First Alert Breaking News desk. Chelsea?
Tracy, the Forest Park police chief says the 2 victims are Anthony Hearns and Isaiah Mack. He says neither of them live in Forest Park. This shooting happened Sunday night around 5 p.m. at an unlicensed business off Jones Road. Chief Brandon Chris said about 200 people were there for a motorcycle club gathering when things turned violent. Investigators say someone started firing shots after a verbal altercation, killing 2 and wounding 2 others who are now in critical condition. Forest Park Mayor Angeline Butler just released a statement saying, if you come to Forest Park to cause chaos, we will find you. We will hold you accountable and we will protect our city without hesitation. Chief Chris echoed that sentiment today during a press conference.
We won't condone it. Crime is down over 50% over the last few years here in the city of Forest Park. And that area in which it occurred is a typically quiet neighborhood. And so that type of behavior will not be tolerated in the city.
Right now, police say there is no danger, though, to the public and that they are closing in on making arrests. If you are a witness or know what happened, please call Forest Park Police. Tracy.
A miracle.
Well, that was Tracy and them over there here in Atlanta, and that was the first story. So they, as you guys can see, they have named the 2 individuals that were killed, and we will go to this story here next. This is also here in Atlanta. Action. Hold on, I need some sound. Here we go.
Shooter who killed 2 people.
Let's start this again.
Police say they are close to arresting the shooter who killed 2 people and injured 2 others during a motorcycle club party. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in Clayton County in Forest Park. And Tom, you learned the business where this happened was not even supposed to be open at the time.
So I just want to say, as we're moving into this is one of the very negative consequences of putting together a clubhouse and not having all of the paperwork together or whatever the case may be, and also having a problem at the clubhouse, like a shooting and a killing. You just lost your clubhouse, and I think we're going to see that happen here, and I've experienced this firsthand. So here we go.
And take a look, Wendy. You can see a chain and lock on the gate to prevent people from getting inside this business. The chief says that chain and lock should have been here yesterday, preventing people from getting inside because this business doesn't have a license and no one should have been here. People in this neighborhood say they've seen motorcycle club parties here before, but they say they've never seen the level of violence we saw yesterday.
When I heard 2 people die, it really saddened my heart.
Neighbor Marie Jenkins was saddened and surprised when 2 people were killed, 2 others critically wounded when gunfire broke out at a motorcycle club party at this business Sunday evening. Jenkins says it started out as a festive affair.
We see the people, the motorcycles coming up and down the street, having a good time.
The good times didn't last for long.
And then all of a sudden, we saw police cars, ambulance.
We don't know as of yet. We do know that there was a verbal altercation.
Chief Brandon Chris says it was a large gathering of about 150 to 200 people at the business called Elite Automax on 1st Street near Old Dixie Highway. He said Anthony Hearns and Isaiah Mack were killed. Chris said the business was operating illegally.
Location that does not have a business license, so they should not be operating at all.
I tried to ask a woman who arrived to unlock the gate at the business about that. She had no comment. Jenkins says the motorcycle club usually gathers here about 3 times a year.
It always have been a very peaceful event. Nothing has ever happened.
Then shots rang out and 2 people killed. Jenkins says she heard from someone who attended the party. One of the victims was only 25.
That is such a young life.
And the chief says they are close to making an arrest in this case. He didn't say much more than that. The city has issued a cease and desist order and says this business will be cited for operating without a license. We're live in Clayton County in Forest Park. I'm Tom Jones, the Channel 2 action.
Yeah, so
family history.
You just
everyone has one.
Okay, turn that off. And you just lost your clubhouse. Police say they're close to apprehending the gunman, and they keep saying that. And I had the entire press conference here, and I just don't seem to be able to find it. Sometimes I go through these things so fast, but in the press conference they talked about what they were going to do about this club not having its license and that sort of thing. So. This has happened in my motorcycle club nation. This has happened to me. We have had people murdered at our clubhouses. The one that I do remember vividly is the one that we had, I believe, where the hell was it? Phoenix, maybe. And a person was killed, and the clubhouse was shut down so quick I can't even. And they do this, man. They go to the neighborhood. They start interviewing the people in the neighborhood, and the way they did it, a distinct building that you wouldn't even think was a motorcycle gang clubhouse. They do this stuff, and I want to show you guys what happens to this. And I wrote in my book, Public Relations Officer's Bible. I wrote in this book how this happens and what you have to do to protect yourself, especially as the motorcycle club. I want to show you guys something that happens as a result of this. This headline right here, this is in India today. This is a headline in India today. 2 dead, 2 injured in a shooting at Forest Park. Just like when I do stories about India here, I have no idea where Bangladesh Kalakela County is. They have no damn idea where Forest Park is. But here it is, right there in the Indian today. 2 dead, 2 injured in a shooting at Forest Park motorcycle gathering. And this is going to, this story is now worldwide, this story. And everything, 2 dead, 2 critical in a motorcycle rally shooting at Forest Park. Chaos ensued as 100 to 150 people fled the scene. Police close to identifying the suspects. The deceased have now been named. I mean, they're on it. they're on the story, just like when we cover stories in their papers. But this is what I found when we had a guy murdered, one of our presidents murdered. It went around the world, and this was very crucial in this worldwide coverage was very crucial in shutting down the Clubhouse. It gets so big, so fast, so quick, and people are coming at you from all sides. Here's another news story here. Let's do this one.
We've learned more this afternoon about a Sunday afternoon double homicide in Forest Park. Investigators have now identified the victims, but still need to find the killer. Fox 5's Kevin Stewart joins us live from Forest Park with more details. Kevin.
Christine, we have learned the names of the two victims. According to police here in Forest Park, both men did live here in Georgia, but are not from Forest Park. In fact, the event where they lost their lives, it attracted people from all over.
Take a look at the scene Sunday afternoon. Chaos. That's how police describe the scene, not even 5 minutes from police headquarters.
We're looking at about 150 to 200 people there.
And now 2 of those people are dead. Anthony Hearns, 39 years old, and Isaiah Mack, 25 years old. Investigators are trying to track down witnesses to piece this all together, because right now, all Forest Park police can figure out is this was a motorcycle club gathering promoted on social media.
To come over and have a good time.
And it all went bad after some type of argument.
Fortunately, that good time turned into a disaster. We're still canvassing the area for surveillance, processing all of the information as it relates to what motorcycle clubs were there.
Another element to this case, this business, the city says it's not legit. It had no license.
They should not be operating at all. And that's something that we're looking into as well.
The number you dialed has been changed. Disconnected.
We called the number at the location.
Please check the number and try your call again.
And got no answer. In fact, off camera, people here maintain there is little activity at this business, tucked away in what is described as a very quiet part of town. That disruption has the chief of police issuing a stern warning.
That type of behavior will not be tolerated in the city. And more times than not, is people or individuals coming into our city to commit crime. We won't tolerate it.
Now, there were 2 other shooting victims who did survive. We understand they are both in critical condition at area hospitals. If you have any information about this case, please want to hear from you. Reporting live from Clayton County, Kevin Stewart, Fox 5 News.
Great, Kevin. Thanks so much.
Yeah, man. So this thing is hitting. Huh?
I have a question. Something you said and something they repeatedly said. Now, listen,
I thought I was getting a street name after
Boy,
me. I was like near death.
They steal your whole channel. Okay. Okay, go on.
They were saying that it was a legitimate business, but the business didn't have a license and they were going to be cited. But does to rent a place out for a motorcycle club or an event, does the business have to have a license?
What I think is going on there is you have a warehouse situation, and next to the warehouse or part of the warehouse is a legitimate business, and then and so that's the business that they keep naming, but I don't think that business has anything to do with it. That's just the only name on the building, and so they might maybe be in a corner of it or whatever the case. But part of it is a motorcycle club house, and so that's who they're going to be going after. I don't think that the auto business, unfortunately, they just have their name up there. That's what I think. I have to do some more digging to.
If the auto business owns the part of the building that was being leased out for the party, then their ass is in the fire too.
And I don't know that to be the case, but you'd probably be right on that. But I think maybe they just happen to be. And I'm speculating now, so I'm not speaking of anything I know for sure. But I get I've asked some questions, and I get the sense that really didn't have anything to do with it. But the illegal business that they're talking about specifically is the clubhouse that was operating there. Now, was it a part or being leased from the auto place or not? I don't know. But yeah, the owner of the building ultimately will have responsibility, and the tenants will share some responsibility as well. But I've seen this happen. It can come down on both or on one, just depending on a lot of times, especially based on what you've told the owner. If you haven't told the owner that you're running a motorcycle club and they have no idea that kind of thing is going on, and it never bites you in the ass until it does. And there are ways to have a motorcycle club that does not particularly have a business license, and that is to set it up as a private club. But there's some things that you have to specifically do to have a private club, and a lot of times people will shortcut or not understand all of the pieces that go into having a private club. And one of the things is it has to be private, right? So there's a lot to it that a lot of times when you want a motorcycle club, you get a clubhouse, you stick it up, and people come to it and you start having fun. And that is the blast. When you start selling drinks or anything like that, that's when money starts changing hands or whatever the case may be. That's when you start to get into the water, into the murky waters. And there's a lot you got to know that people are not necessarily up on business. But whenever something bad happens, then everything comes down. Like, you could be there for years, you could be there for decades.
Yeah, but you was there for decades under the radar. They knew you were there, but you wasn't a bother. You wasn't a nuisance. You didn't, you wasn't in nobody's way. You didn't cause a ruckus.
And
Now, the
nobody
moment you
got
cause
killed
a
over it.
ruckus, now you got the spotlight on you. So now we got to implement every law in the book because you made a ruckus. You brought attention, and it doesn't even be your attention that you brought because of your people. It's the guests that came to your event that just screwed it up for everybody.
Which, as I understand this was a female motorcycle club that was hosting this event. And the questions. So theoretically, you are responsible for every person's security that comes to your event. You are responsible to be able to provide safety and security for everyone that's there. So if something is breaking out, you need to have the manpower or the security forces, or you done dialed 911 or something. And it just leads me to wonder if a female motorcycle club should be hosting events on a male bike set. Is that even?
Man, here go a can of worms. Black Dragon is about to open. Here go a can of worms. Black Dragon is about to open. Come on, man. Let's go ahead and finish with what you about to say so I can jump into this, man.
Well, I already know what the preacher's going to say, but I know what he just went to the Bessie Bells event and had a great time out there with the Bessie Bells. So I'm not fixing to get any agreement in from the preacher, but should women's motorcycle clubs be required to have a male motorcycle club look over them like women's social clubs have to?
Can I go first? And I can get out y'all way?
I mean, go ahead, man, because I'm already.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna go first.
I'm ready. So go ahead, Reverend.
I'm gonna go first.
We can't hear you. Something's wrong with your microphone.
Let's hear your logic. Let's hear your logic.
Can you hear me? Test. Can you hear me?
Let's be logical with it, and let's hear your
Y'all
logic.
can hear me?
We hear you.
Oh, okay. You said something was wrong with my mic. I just want to make sure y'all can hear me.
Man, he being sarcastic. Preacher.
Here's my 1, 2, 3 cents. So,
all right.
As I said before, female motorcycle clubs, when they, as you say in your protocol, when they come into on the set correctly, when they have history on any motorcycle set across the nation, when they have built relationships, I don't see why it should be a difference if they have host an event. Now, I can only speak about my community here. The female motorcycle clubs here have earned the respect from all the clubs, including the OMC. They get on the calendar the right way and everything. So I don't see why they should have to have a male, this is my opinion, a male overseer before they have an event. And just because a shootout, this unfortunate thing happened at a female motorcycle event, doesn't mean it won't happen at a male motorcycle event. People don't care about the laws when if I see somebody I don't like and I want to get with them, I'm gonna get with them. I don't care where I am.
Oh,
Now,
that's not
will
happening
the
at
whole set
at
come
every
down
male
on that
event.
idea? Yes.
That's not happening at every male event. There are plenty of male
I didn't
events.
say every. I didn't say every. I said,
Oh,
but it
events.
does happen at male events. And you can have a large club out there and something still pop off. And then people blame the club. So it's no difference.
Is the club to blame? Is the club to blame?
That's hard to say. Because let's say if it was in
security, you should have your security situation set up.
True. Okay,
So-
let's take a baseball game. A baseball game has security all over the place. But can they stop every fight from happening? No, they get involved after the fight starts.
You don't see nobody getting shot at a baseball game.
I'm talking about
Hey,
fights.
but you know it can happen anywhere.
It can happen anywhere.
You don't see it happening because they check you for weapons before you go in there. And, you know, we just had this conversation, Lavish, a couple months ago, if it was that long. And you said, hey, ain't nobody coming in the boogie down that don't get searched. And
Civilians. We don't search bikers.
Oh.
And bikers don't like to be searched. But then again, you have other places that, clubs search bikers. Different people, different areas, different clubs, different standards. Everybody run their house the way they run their house.
So back to the question, is the motorcycle club responsible for the protection of the people inside of it that they've asked to come to hang out and enjoy their male or female?
Yeah. The club should be responsible. Let me not say responsible. Let me not use that strong word because we can't control what other adults do. However, we as a club or as a person who has an establishment, we should ensure each person's safety to the best of the ability that we can. That's what I would say. I would word that like that. We should be protecting, people's safety to the best we could.
Well, Lavish, you walked away from your mic.
You can't. I mean, can you hear me though?
No.
You still should be able to hear me.
You just disappeared and couldn't hear you.
Yeah. You can't hear me when I walked away?
No.
We couldn't hear you at that time.
Oh,
You just
I
played it
got
up.
my earpiece in. I hear everything that y'all saying. I just figured, I had a whole conversation when I was walking. I thought y'all could hear everything that I was saying.
We heard a lot of it, then you just drifted off.
You just drifted off.
Paul, just pause. I got to drop a key off in this shop, so I'll continue.
Well, we'll keep
Live,
going.
you take it. Keep going.
Oh my goodness.
But see, Black Dragon, to your question, you know what we was gonna say. To your question, that word, should women have a male club overseer before they have a
overseer is
club?
such a negative word. You went back to the slave days on us with the whole overseer word.
Okay.
A big brother club. How about that? A big brother club,
Well, most of them do. If they earn the respect on the set, no matter what set you are, if they earn the respect on their set, people are going to look after them regardless. And then you got some women out there handle their own business.
Yeah, I feel like this, man. To go with the question that Black Dragons, the statement that he said, man. I personally, speaking for Lavish T. Williams only. I can't put a gender on any of that stuff, man. Male or female club, things can happen either way. I don't want to sit and put women in a box to say, hey, because y'all are a woman club, y'all should have this. What I can say and what I will say to any point of let me say, for any person, I'm not going to say a point, you should have enough security. That's male or female club. To put them in a box to say, yeah, just because they're female. No, because me, I have a great time when I go to a female club
Oh
party.
yeah,
I have a
absolutely.
wonderful time. And normally when you go, you don't hear about any bull crap. It's a good time, it's a good vibe, it's a good experience. You have things that happen, like, this unfortunate, incident that happened. And it sucks because lost life, you know, their name is tarnished right now. People are talking about, them in whatever type of way. And it's going to be a long time before they redeem themselves based off of something that they had no control over. I don't
Well,
think that
I don't even
was
know
that.
if redeeming themselves means much. The question is, what the hell are they going to do about their motorcycle clubhouse that seems to have been shut down now? And that's going to bring up my next question. So let's finish this one so we can get to my next question. So go on.
I don't say what I had to say. Well, if you would say what they're going to do about the clubhouse, the same thing a male club, MC club does.
No. This is. So now what I want to ask is, so what is your overall feeling about somebody bringing this to their clubhouse and now their clubhouse is shut down?
No, my feeling is that's bull crap, man. And people, man, y'all take care of y'all problems elsewhere. It be so many different clubs, man, from all over, man. They come to somebody else's club and terrorize their club, mess their club up, and then they leave and go back to their house, they club, and carry on with everyday life. And these clubs got to be stuck with it. It then just puts a bad name on the motorcycle set as a whole because, look, this stuff is in the media. So now when you have a decent motorcycle club speak on doing the event, as soon as somebody hear motorcycles, their mind goes to, hey, some people just got killed at a motorcycle event. Red flag, they don't want to do it. We just had that problem here. I'm looking for an event for a club, and oh man, we don't want to mess around with a motorcycle stuff. We just don't want to have any problems. Well, what problems might you have? But the stereotype and the things that people hear from the media is, hey, you have motorcycle people over here, man. It might be, violence, or they might mess up your building.
Yeah. What do you think, Lavish? I mean, Logic. What do you think?
Well, I agree. I agree with Lavish. Everything he says.
And I mean, you got great people out here, man.
Say it again.
Huh? No, I'm saying you got great people out here that really try to put on, and they put a lot of work into these events. And I know that these women, and I'm only speaking on the women events that I've been to. I know when these women do an event, they go like over the top, man. When they do an event, man, they doing balloons and having a tables set up a certain type of way, and they setting a whole different tone versus how most male clubs do as a whole. I don't want to take away from anybody that does the same thing, but they spend a lot of time, and so do other people that play in these parties. They spend a lot of time and they put a lot of effort in. They put a lot of work into building relationships with other people to get into their club, only for somebody from another club to come and cause chaos and screw up what they got, and nobody's going to talk about the other clubs when they talk about a party. They're going to talk about, this woman's club, whatever the name of their club is. They're going to talk about that club, and for a while, hey, isn't that club that this happened? Oh, I don't know if I'm going to go to that one, man, because I don't want nothing to happen. And the club itself didn't have anything to do with it. It wasn't the club who had a problem. It wasn't that club that had a fight. It was somebody that came to that party that had a fight, or act of violence that could have been dealt with somewhere else. And that's just how I feel about it. Now, granted, to some of the stuff that you said, Black Dragon, about, yeah, I feel like, women should be, whatever you said about being backed by a man's club. I don't feel like a woman needs to be backed by a man's club, but I feel like people throwing the event, they just need to make sure they got enough security or they got enough staff to intervene if some things like this happen. When my club do something, we got enough members because we're a larger club. But when Lavish does his personal event, I have my paid security there as well because I don't want anything to go wrong. And if something goes wrong, that can tarnish, my name for a while. I work hard to do it, just like these other clubs. They work hard to build up something on positivity, and it doesn't take long for it to drop and, be talked about in a negative way so freaking quickly.
Yeah.
And some of these clubs should just have a zero tolerance policy. I got a zero tolerance policy for my event. I'm only speaking for my event, not the club. When I have my event, I tell my staff, listen, if anybody gets into an argument and you see confrontation, they gotta go. Just like that. Yeah, they gotta go because I don't want anything to fester. I don't want anybody from another, getting in somebody's ear, adding fuel to a flame, adding fuel to the flame because people are so emotional nowadays. People are so sensitive about everything. You get somebody that laugh, that's not even laughing at Logic because he's there, but they're laughing. Logic is laughing or whatever, and he's not even paying attention to an altercation that happened. But now that's another altercation because people are in their feelings, and then instigators are there to egg stuff on. No, I zero tolerance, man. Listen, man, y'all gotta go. And I say that all the time. And I don't use motorcycle security at my events because I don't have time for people to be friends with a person. Oh, we cool. No, you don't know none of these security people. They don't know you. Their loyalty is to the guy who's paying them, which is me. Outlaws. They paid.
I've seen it frowned upon. I've seen it frowned upon in different instances that if two individuals from two other organizations have an altercation at somebody's anniversary or whatever event, day party, whatever event, it's like once it's happened, let's say the host club, they'll get up there, they'll make their statement. They'll do the proper thing, like you teach other people, Black Dragon, on how to do their public relation. They'll come out, the president or whoever it is over it, come out and they'll make their statement. And then you will see, or on the set, it's not going to be publicized. You'll see on the set how people will come down on those other two individuals. Don't take your beef or your gripe or whatever to somebody else's party. Don't why ruin somebody else's party? So it will be a collective thing that I have seen, a collective thing to come down on or to chastise. That may be a hard word, but to chastise the two individuals that caused the confrontation at somebody else's event. So I don't think it's really it's really a popular thing to do, So
is it okay then to use police officers or off-duty police officers or part-time police officers? Is it okay to bring police officers on the set as security? Somebody mentioned that a little bit earlier. Is that okay? Is it wrong to actually have police officers doing your security at your motorcycle club event?
I'm kind of,
I can't even speak to that.
The way that I look at it, man, I got a double standard on that. I want to be honest with you, I do. I feel like for everyday motorcycle stuff, activities every week, your clubhouse, no, your club police, all that kind of stuff. However, on the flip side, I feel like when you have one of these bigger events, if you choose to, I don't see it being a bad idea. I mean, depending on what your end goal is, and I'm only speaking on that because everybody that comes out to these places, and I'm using Logic because he's here. I'm using a guy like Reef because he's online. I'm using Black Dragon because he's on here. Y'all are all from 3 different places, man, and I'm inviting you to my city. I want you to have a great time at my event. I don't want bull crap to travel. I want Black Dragon to go back to Atlanta. I want him to say, hey, man, I was down at Lavish BikerPrez. I had a wonderful time. Everything was smooth. It wasn't none of this. It wasn't none of that. It was peaceful. It was respectful. I want Reef to say the same thing. I want, that. So you set a certain tone, man, because for me, bull stuff is not gonna really follow, man, once you have a certain tone, because they know, hey, man, you go to their event, it's zero tolerance. You know, they got security there, and the security is not there to bother your guests. It's just to keep everything peaceful, keep everything safe, because you have people throwing these events, and it's a lot of money that's invested in these events. You want people to be safe. Everybody that come to these biker events are not bikers that's a part of a club. So people, we had to be mindful of that as well, because we get so caught up on bikers, and clubs. But it's the people that's not in the clubs that's the biggest supporters, that's supporting the clubs financially, spending money, buying stuff. And those are the people that we got to cater to and make sure that they're safe. Now, on the flip side, again, like I say, I got a double standard on that. You know, I don't want a police officer policing my clubhouse. No, I don't. That's what we got our club for. Let us police our own. Let us police our club. But when you're going out and you're talking about doing a huge event, a bigger event, I don't see anything wrong with it. And it could be very cost effective because you got security there. That's taking up stuff, and you don't have to worry about the dealings of the city when you got traffic, backed up and people are calling the police. No, the police are already there to help tackle,
Right, right. Yeah, it's like
help tackle stuff.
when you're doing a ride, you're doing a large ride, and I see it through many clubs. They do a large ride. They got to get the permits and everything, and then some of them have police escorts to block the road. You got 50, 60 bikes. Even though you have your road captains and everything, some still have police escorts. But they're not at the party, watching the party or.
Yeah, they not, man. And then I can't speak for every city and every place, but you got a lot of these officers, man. At least that I know, they ride bikes, they in clubs. Some of them 99%, some of them outlaws. You get them, they be on the detail, they doing their job, but at the same time, man, they understand the bike culture, and you got the other bikers that's respecting the officer just as well as the officer respecting them. I mean, you do got some asshole cops out there, man, but I think it just varies on the type of event that you have, man, and the turnout of what you're trying to accomplish, man. If you just straight keeping it club, and that's cool, man. But if you're trying to like put on a major event that you want to, keep doing it, you want it to grow and be successful, shit, man, you gotta have to get out. You gotta have to step outside that box, man, and go into the professional way of doing things, man, because it's gonna help. It's gonna help build your brand. It's gonna help build what you're trying to do. That's just my opinion. Everybody might have a different view or opinion.
So here's a couple things. So what you talked about was the club being able to provide the security and secure its own event. So unless you're doing something big where you might want to have a different kind of security, maybe even the police. But when you're talking about a club securing its own event, so is a female club going to be able to secure event, especially if you got a bunch of men around there that are acting crazy and want to do crazy stuff? When we're talking about the security of the event, somebody mentioned something about suing. Anytime you have a place that you bring people to, unfortunately, you're open up for anything like that. I've had my motorcycle club sued for a lady stepping into a hole and hurting, breaking, or bruising her ankle pretty bad. They sued the club insurance for $200,000.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be barred from ever coming to my club again as well.
Yeah. Well, once I have $200,000 in my pocket, I probably don't need to go to your club again. But so yeah, motorcycle clubs have to have things like insurance and stuff on their mind, which is hard to get if you don't have licenses and stuff to sell liquor and alcohol and any of the other things that could be going on. Yeah, all of those things are you're exposed to. Although I would say the biker set is not particularly a litigious group. We don't normally go around suing each other, but when you have these civilians that come on and that was exactly what happened. It was a civilian that sued us all those years ago. Now, the other thing OB Joe said, and OB Joe is an old school biker, and you can tell by the way he says things and the way he thinks about things. OB Joe said, No, you don't want to have the police. You have clubs that you mess with by invite only. Well, we've gotten away from that. We don't do these things by invite only. There was a time where in order to get in somebody's motorcycle club, you had to have a card. And this card, it was a blank card, and the member wrote his name on it. It was a VIP card. The member wrote his name on the bottom of the card and wrote your name in the card. And so in order for you to get into the clubhouse, you had to show up with that card, and the member had to be there. So the member was responsible for everybody that was in the club. In the clubhouse. These things don't happen anymore. Now the clubs are open up for business. And if you're open up for business, you got everybody coming in and nobody's being checked or anything like that. Is it out of the question to have a cop at the door? There are some clubs here.
So let me, I don't want to cut you off because I'm driving, but I was looking at the comments because I want to make this clear because I see a lot of people saying cops is a no-no and, you know, police shouldn't be here and police shouldn't be that. I seen one say, is this a clubhouse or a promo? I can't see who said that. I think Papa Penguin may have said that. But what I'm stating is this. Lavish, when Lavish does his event, that's not a motorcycle club event. That's a Lavish, I'm financing and funding my own event. It's catered to motorcyclists, bikers of all kinds. So of course the security gonna be tight as fuck because I've just spent a lot of money on my stuff, man. I'm not letting nobody screw it up. I don't care what nobody think, man. It's gonna be secure. My kids should be able to walk around through there, which they are, and I don't have to worry about nothing. That's how secure, you know, my events is. If you bring your kids to a daytime party, you shouldn't have to worry about things, and then people shouldn't have to feel like they're going somewhere and have to worry about, you know, something happening. So yeah, I'm gonna always secure my events, man. My mother's walking around there, you know, my aunts is walking around there, my family is at these events, you know, sound competitions and bike shows and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's a good event, so of course I want to have security there. Now on the motorcycle side of things, when you say, oh, the motorcycle club knows this and that, it's certain things that you're not going to do as a motorcycle club and get away with without the help of the police. When it comes down to blocking them streets off, the motorcycle club ain't just doing that on their own. When you got the city involved at that point to help do what you want to do with your motorcycle club and activities when you have that big annual. I mean, sometimes I think people, they get so caught up with talking that they don't think logical on the business side of how things really operate. Even the toughest of the toughest guys, look at the gangsters. They had the police in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? It's just business. It comes down to it. You have to grow and evolve into other stuff, right? You want to throw an event and you want to shut down this street. Okay, well, all right. You want to shut down the street, then what? You got to have people there that's going to be able to function, which is going to be your motorcycle club there, but you're going to have the police to oversee it and make sure things are going great so that it does not be a problem. And I mean, if people feel different about what I just said, that's fine, but I see what I see because I see what I see. And the police, and they're not there to rat on you. They're not there to arrest you because these same people, they're sitting there smoking, drinking, doing everything under the sun, and the police sole job is traffic control, man. That's it for the most part, man.
Well, listen, we'll leave this discussion on the table for now, man, but I think it was definitely fruitful and we learned a lot. We want to get on to the second half of the show. We have just an amazing man. First of all, you know, he rides an Indian, which I believe is just, you know, we need to take time to focus on that Indian shirt right there. I just believe that's so beautiful. And he was on a victory before that, I might add, a beautiful victory and, you know, a beautiful Indian. And it's just beautiful. I just want to comment on the beauty of it all. It's just wonderful, man. And
Damn logic.
And he's a former Navy senior chief. which means he's about that damn business and
He
handling.
ride the Polaris.
And he rides the Polaris. Yeah, that's essentially what it is. And also he was a skimmer puke. So we can't give him all that much love. He rode targets, surface ships. He rode targets that we submariners used to sink targets for fun. But that's the only negative thing we have to say about him is that he was a skimmer puke. But, my fellow Navy brother, Reef, man, it's so good to have you on the show. Thank you, man, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Man, you and
Like
Highway
Walker went way back.
You and Highway Smiley and Ken from the Buffalo Soldiers. Man, y'all got to be the baddest riders in America, man. I mean, you're not as bad a rider as I am, but other than that, man, y'all got to be the baddest riders in America, other than myself. I'm just saying here. Now, listen, man. I told Lavish I could start riding backwards for the next 10 years, and you still wouldn't catch up to me. You could start riding backwards for the next 10 years, and I would still not be able to catch up to you. You're bad, man. You are a bad man. And
just the guy that likes to ride his motorcycle.
Just a guy that likes to ride his motorcycle.
That's the humility right there. That's the humility.
Reef, you know what? I mentioned you in my book, Motorcycle Club Protocol 101. I mentioned you as I said, in this book, I said, if I am great, then there are people that I have dealt with that have helped me and molded me and mentored me and befriended me throughout the years. So if I am great, then it's because of these people, and your name is right here in this book, my brother. Your name is right here. Reef, you have been talking to me and mentoring me, and we've been close. You call me up on the phone with that bullshit. Hey, let's ride to Germany, huh? For breakfast. Nobody messing with you, man. I'll be in your neighborhood in the morning. Where are you right now? Texas.
Yeah.
Maybe you can roll out. Maybe you can roll out and meet me. We can have breakfast. Well, what you gonna be doing out this way? Oh, me and a bunch of guys are riding out to breakfast, and then we'll be riding back. Oh my goodness, man. You are doing it. So what we have here, I wanted to go through. First of all, I just wanted to talk to you after we talked to the Bessie Bells the other day, and I didn't know that they knew you, and I didn't know you had ridden the Hoka 2 times. Damn! And so I should have known. I should have known.
Hold on. He did it. He did that ride twice.
He's done the Hoka twice.
I did not finish though.
God damn.
But he didn't.
You didn't finish either time, or just one time?
No, the first time I got in an accident on day one and had to go to the hospital at the checkpoint. And my hands swelled up and they couldn't give me medicine. And then one of my partners died the same evening. So I thought about getting back in the ride, but my hands were still swollen. And I'm like, that'd be crazy to do 7,500 miles and I can barely squeeze the clutch and brake. So I went home. And then the second time I helped a young lady pick up her motorcycle and I tore the ligaments in my leg. And so after I couldn't walk anymore, on day 5, I went home.
So you still got it to do again? Or are you going to try
I'm doing it 2026.
Wow. So it's going to be 3 times for you. I love all those Indian motorcycles you have in the background there. Those are
Thank you.
Those are beautiful. I actually happen to have one in my background those of us that love these have those things. But that is so cool, man. Let's pull up this thing here and just talk about some of your trips.
I like this map. I love this map.
So that's 1 year ride, and that was 2023. 81,000 miles is what you see on that map.
Damn, 81,000 miles.
81,000
A
miles.
Can I
motorcycle
say
in
this?
1 year.
Can I
God,
say this, y'all? These are the Reef, and people like Reef are the ones I surround myself with.
Yeah, that's 1 year.
I didn't hear you say Reef and Black Dragon.
I said Reef and people like Reef.
In that,
oh, you
in
know,
this
Black
81,000
Dragon ain't
miles,
about to get
also
800 miles.
I want to be surrounded by you too. I want to be in the surround. Wow.
In that map is also included the Iron Butt Rally. It was my first year doing the Iron Butt Rally, which is 11,000 miles, 11 days.
11,000 miles in 11 days. This bro is riding 1,000 miles a day for real. Is that 16 hours for you? Does it take you 16 hours to ride 1,000 miles? That's what it takes me.
It all depends on where you are. So a lot of that, if you notice, a lot of that road ain't just 5, 10, 75, 90. It's a lot of back roads on that map. So 1,000 miles is not 1,000 miles. The time is not the same if you ride different locations.
So there are some days you're riding more than 1,000.
Right. And then this is a scavenger hunt. So you're not just riding straight ahead and just riding gas tank to gas tank. You're riding and you're going to get bonus points and different kind of things. So it's all miles aren't the same.
So some of these days you putting in close to 1,500 miles in a day to make up for the other days where
the Iron Butt Rally is about 1,000 miles more a day. It depends on how you ride.
Wow.
Depending on how you ride. I'm doing that again here in a couple weeks. In June, it starts in Iowa.
Yeah, I think it typically takes me somewhere near 16 hours to ride 1,000 miles.
Yeah, if you're on a super slab, that's about what it'd take normally.
Yeah.
Depending on traffic and construction and everything else.
And if you make stops.
Man, that is so
your
awesome.
stops.
Okay, so what is this map here? You see this one?
That map, that was my first 48 and 10 with me and Highway Smiley back in 2014, I think it was.
So for those who don't know, Highway Smiley is another famous long distance rider that everybody just knows.
That was my second riding partner.
Soundproof says it takes him 20 hours to ride 1,000 miles on roads like that. Yeah.
That's about right, Soundproof.
Yeah. It's 16 hours on the slab if you're riding gas tank to gas tank. But if you're doing this, so you're riding 20 hours and sleeping 4 and then riding again for 11 days.
I got insomnia. Sometimes I don't sleep 4. It all depends. On this ride here, our first night, it started off as me, Smiley, and his brother named Bingo. And Bingo was having some medical issues, so we ended up dropping him off. There's a SCMA, Southern California Motorcycle Association Truex ride. I spent 4 days waiting on the rim, 1 day getting head bearings put on, steering bearings put on, and I did that ride in 19 days. It's Truex 4 corners.
Jeez.
Boy.
So I'm gonna say that there's the 4 corners and then there's the Truex.
The Truex. And that's the Truex.
Yeah.
I veered off when I started. I had a friend who I'd sold him a house and his house next door to me. And he moved to North Carolina. His wife passed. So I went to North Carolina and literally just dug his neck. And then got back on the road and went to Key West to start my ride.
Wow, man. That is sick. Okay, what is this video here?
That video, that's the Avenue of Giants. That's one of my favorite places to go and relax and enjoy the scenery and the fresh air. If you hadn't done Avenue of Giants, it should be on your list of the things to do.
Where is that located at?
That's in California.
Avenue of the Giants. Why is it? Because of the trees?
Those are all sequoia trees. Avenue of the Giants. Great ride.
Wow, man. You are set up. Look at you got your tank bag and What is that? What is that? What is your preferred riding suit that you're wearing there?
I ride Clem. That is a Latitude suit by Clem, and I just got a Kodiak suit the other day, so that will be my new riding gear.
So you believe in all of the gear all the time? You're always dressed to the max in this stuff?
Normally, like it's 40 miles from my house to my bike shop, and even if I go to the bike shop, I normally throw my gear on. I didn't always start off that way. If you look, when me used to ride, I wore jeans and long shirts, and I just progressed to that road is undefeated, and
Yeah, it
I
definitely,
got
it's definitely
enough of my own
undefeated,
tattoos.
man.
I don't need any road tattoos.
Let me say something about his. Can I say something about his riding gear? We was up in Tulsa, Black Wall Street. I think this was last year, and I was talking to Reef. We standing there. It's about 1 billion degrees outside, and this dude got all his gear on. I'm sweating. I'm looking up like, yo, man, I know you hot. No, I'm okay. Dude, it's 1,000 degrees out here. You got all this gear on. I was like,
Yeah, in Oklahoma in May, hell yes, it's hot as hell.
I mean, you get accustomed to that. You get accustomed to that.
Man, I've been riding and
I don't wear all that, but I know that I get laughed at because even on the hottest days, I put my leather on. When we get on the highway, it can be super hot. I got my leathers and stuff on, and they be laughing at me. But I've been down a few times, and I know what that road rash feels like. And I'm a tow truck driver, so I know what it looks like from other people, man. So yeah, I put that leather on, but I understand that. No, let me not say understand. I know that my body is accustomed to it during the heat. It's not as hot as you think it is. Not when you're riding.
Right. Well, yeah, when you get that air in, but when you're sitting behind that damn windshield, the Gold Wings used to have a big hole you cut in your windshield, and you put a thing in there where the air could get to you. But
I thought that windshield on the Gold Wing goes up and down. Am I wrong on that?
no.
yeah,
On
it's
that?
on the Indian, and yeah, it goes up and down.
Oh,
On
that's
the
on the
Gold
Indian.
Wing?
Okay, I knew one
On the
of them
Indian, yeah. On the Indian, yeah.
went up and down. Yeah.
On the Indian and on the Victory Vision Tour, the windshield goes up and down. Okay, so this is another map. What is this?
That is my ride for last year. That's my map for last year, which was 69,000, right over 69,000 miles. And then that
Jeez.
map, it included the SCMA Grand Slam, the Southern California Motorcycle Association. You do all their rides, and you get a award called the Grand Slam. So that's the Grand Slam plus some other stuff, some other rides that I did.
Wow, man. Wow. Okay, so this is the Iron Butt. Tell us about 11 days, 11,000 miles. That's the Iron Butt ride you were just talking
That's
about.
Iron Butt Rally. Yep. Only 695 people have ever completed one, and I'll be doing it again. Like I say, next month.
What is your strategy for riding long distance? You got to have some things like you don't spend more than 10 minutes at a rest stop or something. What are some of your strategies for rolling like that?
It's so those strategies have changed for me, and they vary. If I'm doing Iron Butt rides, then yeah, I will stop and do pictures depending on what the Iron Butt ride is for. But as a late man, I like riding like FCMA type rides where I'm doing more exploring. Like I'm known for get out and explore. So I stop a lot. I take a lot of pictures. I do some videos. Sometimes I do a whole little photo shoot. Like Snacks and I went to the Globe in Savannah, and we spent probably about an hour and a half just taking pictures before we got back on the road. So then we got on the road and we were riding back roads. So we were like, yo, we really don't want to ride once it's too late, even though we got a ton of lights on our bike. So we bedded down about an hour or so after we left Savannah. And then we made our way on home. So When I first started riding, it was all gas, no brakes. I did a lot of iron butt rides. My goal was to get to 100 certified iron butt rides, and I did that. It's less than 20 people in the world that's done that. And now since I've done that, I now do a lot of getting out in the sport type rides. I still do some iron butt rides, and I will be doing hopefully a lot after the iron butt rally this year. I have some goals that some lists I want to get on that I'm not on yet, but it's not many of those.
Matt Stack says he's chasing that 3-digit IBA. What is that?
Yeah, him and his wife. Of course, she rides the Indian, he rides Harley. I'm rooting for both of them. But I see you there. I just was talking to wifey the other day.
What is a 3-digit IBA? What is that?
So when you get a regular IBA number is 5 digits, and then if you get that 3-digit number, that means you have completed the iron butt rally. So you lose a 5-digit number, and now you go to a 3-digit number.
Oh wow, man! Wow.
So it's in a long distance world, it's another sign of prestige. Like I had people chase me down because they saw my license plate backer. I was in Canada. Chased me down, and it was crazy timing because I had just found out that we were on a ride. Just found out my wife's uncle died, and his wife ran into Joyce in the bathroom, and she was crying, and then they actually left, and he came back because of my plate backer, and then gave me his number, offered us a place to stay, and the whole 9 yards, and wanted to take pictures because he never thought he would meet an iron butt rally finisher in a while.
Wow, man. Wow. That is crazy. This is you and the wife. Where are y'all here? Is this Niagara Falls?
That's Cashapp Falls in Canada. We were doing the Great Lake Cabot Trail ride for the Southern California Motorcycle Association.
And I know this guy here.
That's my brother K Solo. We got probably a couple 100,000 miles together.
Wow.
Now,
wow.
who got the most miles between?
Road like that? Okay.
Who got the most miles between both of y'all?
He does. He's done 100,000 miles 2 years in a row. Plus a bunch of other miles. I don't know where he is on his mile total. I'm about 600,000 miles since I started riding. I didn't learn to ride till 2004.
In 20 years?
Man, I mean, I'm just
in 21 years you've done this.
Yeah. I learned how to ride in 2004 at boot camp.
Reef, I didn't know that geez. Okay.
No, man,
I learned how to ride. My wife was learning, all her girls rode, and I didn't want to have to ride bitch, so I learned how to ride. And now I don't get off the damn bike.
Oh man!
Wow, man. So what are these plaques you guys are holding?
Those are our Iron Butt Rally finisher plaques. That was at the banquet when they presented them to us. He finished gold. I finished bronze.
Are there any young guys? All them guys in the background look old. Y'all the only only folks that have the money and time off work to go do these rides.
It's several. It costs money, man.
So I tell everybody, riding is a young man's game, but they don't have the money to ride it. So most of the people that do it are older and a little more established. But there are quite a few young folk in there that's blessed enough to have money from somewhere.
So I see K Solo rides a Harley because I can see his Harley insignia.
Yeah, he rides a Harley.
Okay, so where is this here?
That one there is in Stillwater, Oklahoma. It's a couple. They have two right down the street from each other, like 10 miles apart. Bumblebee and then Optimus Prime is down the street from there.
You know, they moved. Did they move Bumblebee, or did they just create it? Because they got a Bumblebee out here in Texas too.
That's in Elmo, Texas. You'd be surprised to know that there's more than one Bumblebee. Like who the hell would have thought that they could make more than one inanimate object?
Boy, I tell you.
Jeez.
I thought they just had them spread out, and it was like an adventure to go ride to them. Because I still got to get Optimus Prime.
No, the two in Stillwater are owned by the same company. Then they're right down the street, so they got two different. They Optimus Prime and Bumblebee.
Okay.
So you
and then in Elmo, Texas, there's a Bumblebee, and then at Akakila Falls or some shit like that off the 10. There's another bumblebee, but it's inside.
So there are landmarks that you guys will ride to like the thing Mile Zero and stuff like that folks will ride to say
Roadside attractions. And there's different, like there's organizations that have you go to them. I just go to them on my own. Get out and explore is my thing. So if you see on my page all the time, I'll write get out and explore, and it'd be some crazy roadside attraction.
Can I say this, since I'm an admin on this page? Reef.
I like the way he said
ago,
that real quick. You hear that, Black Dragon?
Yeah.
He said,
because this is
I'm an admin on this page.
This is my position to say this. So Reef came up with since that is his saying that everybody knows him by, get out and explore. He created a Facebook group called titled Get Out and Explore. And looking at the comments from the group, people will see all these monuments that people have went out and took pictures of. These monuments, these statues, the biggest clothespin and stuff like that. And that gives people ideas of where to take their next ride to. Because if you haven't been there, haven't seen the biggest ball of yarn, you haven't seen the biggest dresser. These things are monuments all around our country. And when we started this group, it grew fast because now people say, "Oh man, I haven't been there." So hey, yeah, y'all get out there and go out there and like that page and look at some sites that you haven't been to. You
could have said that without being an admin on the page. You could have just told us.
No. This is my position to say that. Yeah.
Okay.
He had to put that out there. He had to put
I'm
that
trying
out
to get
there.
people to like the Facebook group, man. Now, hey. I don't have a Facebook group.
Besides my admin on this page too, man. I need you to be an admin over here too. This right here is the dog bone, I guess.
Yeah, that artist has a bunch of different ones around the country. I was riding back from I think Madawaska or somewhere, and I saw it, and I had to loop back around, so I didn't see it in time to take the picture.
Is that bird part of the? Is that?
It is. That's the cardinal. That's part of the design.
Oh wow. Okay. Wow. You know what? I'm going to show you a picture, and I'm just going to wonder if you've ever actually been there. You probably have. Okay. Where are you here?
There I am in California in May.
What?
Again, I was doing a SCMA rides, and that's the entrance to the park.
The name of it is Lassen Volcano.
Yep.
And it snowed like that in May?
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, it had just snowed that day, so you can't see, but riding that whole road before that, they cleared it right there, but it was a thin layer of ice, so I had to slow down, and I took pictures there too, but I didn't see those pictures because I wasn't in them. But the whole bike was still frosted over, and the guy I pulled up, Solo went the week before I went, and so when I pulled up, he said, "Man, you look like a guy that was here last week, but the motorcycle was black." I said, "Yeah, that was my brother K Solo." He said, "Y'all are crazy." So you can only get to the parking lot. Everything else was still covered in snow. A lot of snow. It was like 7 foot of snow.
So there's Reef, Solo. So there's bike riders. Then there's Reef, Solo, Smiley, and Snacks.
Snacks. Right.
So all of them are my riding partners. It's funny that my brother Hero said that. All three of them people are my riding partners. I rode thousands of miles with Snacks. Me and Smiley. That was my second riding partner, and me and Solo still ride together.
Okay, US 421 Country Store. Where is this? Shady Valley, Tennessee.
That's the Snake. It's a real fun ride. It's even more fun when it's dry. But as you can see from that picture, it was anything but that.
That's the Snake. So that's like the tail of the dragon. No,
it's the Snake. The tail of the dragon is like the tail of the dragon. The snake is like the snake.
But are they? They're similar, right?
It's a bunch of curves. It's not a long road. There was a couple bikers. It had started pouring down, and they were off to the side, and they saw me, and I saw them, and I just kept on going. And then they decided, well, if he's going, we gonna go.
They gonna follow.
But when we got to the store, I stopped for a picture. They stopped to run in for cover, so I took my picture and I kept on. I finished the road. About 5 minutes down the road, it stopped raining. but that was also almost the end of the snake.
Did you ride it just once, or did you ride it a couple times?
Oh, I've been on that road a bunch of times, but this particular picture was for the 15 best roads of America for the SCMA.
Okay. Is this the wife on the back of your bike here?
That is her, and I think we were either in Canada or about to cross into Canada for this picture.
Doesn't she have her own motorcycle?
She does not. I have 2 motorcycles. She has her license, but she won't get her own motorcycle yet. Okay. But to be honest, I like her being fender fluff. She's I love her on the back.
Amen. Amen.
Well, that's what's up.
Tia talking about she want a motorcycle. I want her ass on the back.
Massage your shoulder while you ride. Yeah.
Tia talking about she wants a motorcycle.
I heard you, Logic.
I want her ass on the back. What'd you say, Logic?
I said, wives on the back, massage your shoulder while you're riding, because I know my shoulder be burning. I'll tap, my wife go to massaging. I said, okay, I can go another 300 miles.
Moto Gato, I do not. I camp during the Hoka Hay because we have to. Other than that, camping to me is like a Best Western. I am not that guy. When I first started riding, I used to sleep anywhere. I slept at a bunch of Waffle Houses, a bunch of rest stops. Me and Smiley, we slept at the little overhangs at the kids park. But nowadays, I'm normally in a hotel.
Mm-hmm. Except for the Hoka Hay.
Except for the Hoka Hay, you can't sleep in a hotel.
So, is that a Roadmaster you're on right there?
No, that's my Challenger. It looks like a Pursuit, but it's a Challenger, a 21 Challenger. Still brand new. Only got 162,000 miles on it.
You got the Challenger before they came out with the Pursuit.
Yes, sir.
So you fixed it all up yourself and put the bags on it and all that yourself.
Hold on.
Yeah, I ordered the trunk right away. What's that?
Say that again. You said it so casually. You said it only has how many miles? It only has
162,000 miles. 21.
Oh, that's just, a diesel pickup truck is, that's equivalent to a diesel pickup truck. For a motorcycle, you just said it so casually. It only has 100 and something thousand miles on it.
Wow, man. Wow. What's up, PA Biker 65 Ultra? I see you, man. Thank you for tuning in. You guys, please hit that like and share button. The number one metric in YouTube for the health of a channel is the like button and the share button. Please hit that like and share button, and please consider getting a channel membership. All you got to do is go to the channel, hit join, and choose your level of membership. We'd really appreciate that. Hit that like button for us. Okay, so where is this at?
That is in Arizona. I forgot the name of the overlook. That was doing the Three Flag Classic in 2023, I think.
So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bikers. Does everybody have their own
bike?
Oh
no. So that trip we had. So I'm not in that picture. No, I am. That's me right there. It was 6 of us on that trip. Last year it was we had a group of up to 23 that rode that Solo and I drove from Canada down to Mexico.
Oh wow. So you do drag people across the country with you, people that want to ride, you give them tours and stuff. And
so this was a sanctioned ride for the SCMA. It's the annual ride that we do called the Three Flag Classic.
What does SCMA stand for?
Southern California Motorcycle Association.
Okay.
So when you hear most people talk about, oh, I'm doing a 4 corner ride, the real 4 corner ride, that's the SCM, that's their most popular ride.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's the 4 corners of the United States.
Yes, sir. Blaine, Washington, San Ysidro, California, Key West, and Madawaska, Maine for the SCMA 4 corners.
I never knew San Ysidro was like at a corner while I was stationed there. We
yes, sir.
To Imperial Beach and stuff. I never thought of it as wow, I'm at one of the corners of the United States. Yeah.
You ain't going nowhere. You go any farther, you're in the water.
Yeah. I guess so. I never thought.
And if you go any lower, you're in Mexico.
If you go any lower, you're in Mexico.
Hey, Reef, I got a question, and I just want to ask this question, man. On all the rides within the 1 year. Have you calculated and tallied up the expenses that it costs you to do a year's worth of riding?
Have not.
Well, what would you think?
So what I can tell you is that for the 3 flag Grand Slam, just the Grand Slam only last year, that was for me 40-something thousand miles. And I want to say my wife said it was like $24,000. But mind you, I hit manhole covers that were they were repaving the street in Maine, and that cost $7,000 for my bike, and then the hotels that we stayed at because something was going on in the capital of Maine was $250+ a night. So we had some higher than normal expenses because of and then going to the 3 Flag Classic, I hit a pothole, bent my rim. I had another rim on standby, but it cost me $360 to have it overnighted. And then the maintenance costs, extra maintenance costs from those 2 incidents was raised the bar. So I mean, I traveled 18,000 miles with my wife last year. So that's including food for both of us. And I don't know if y'all follow me on Facebook or whatever, but we eat pretty good.
Right.
Can't you put in for recompensation for the pothole for the street manhole covers? Isn't the city?
So one, I was still on the road, and there's timelines and all this other stuff, and I do have trip interruption. So trip interruption did reimburse quite a bit of money for us last year. Every year I ride actually, because I used the hell out of my trip interruption. But that doesn't negate the fact that you got to pay it up front.
Right.
Now, what is trip interruption? Because I'm
Trip interruption. If you ride, and AAA has it, Progressive has it, a lot of companies have it, but even Indian has it. But most people don't know that. If you have any kind of Senate ESP, they normally have trip interruption. So what happens is if you're on the trip and you get in an accident or you blow your tire and you have to stop and get your bike repaired, they will pay for your hotel room for that evening. Some of them will reimburse you for food for that day. They'll pay everything except for you to get your vehicle fixed. And then once you get back on the road, if you need an Uber or a rental car or a rental bike, they even cover that for a certain amount of days.
That's kind of like that AAA Platinum thing where you
It's called they got trip interruption with them too. Matter of fact, AAA, I think it's $1,500, but I got rid of AAA because they left a couple people on the side of the road. So I use Good Sam for mine, and I use Progressive for my trip interruption. But I'm thinking about going back to AAA just so I have double coverage for trip interruption, shit like that.
I have Good Sam and AAA, and also I'm running 3 Good Sam, AAA, and I also run off my insurance. And one of the reasons I do that is, AAA has 200 miles of towing, and each one has something like that. So one time I had to get my bike towed all the way across the country, and I was able to stack them all together and get it home.
One thing we always say, and we joke about it, is when people talk about long distance riders, and sometimes they just concentrate on how many miles you put on the road and everything. That's part of the journey, because when you David Bell has said, if you added up all the costs, you probably wouldn't ride, because and that's not said for sure, because sometimes when you start mapping out your rides and everything, and like when we did our biggest ride, when I was riding that V ride, and I did 5,500 miles on the V ride, I didn't count how much money I spent until I got back home, and I was like, God dog. So now you start to plan for the gas, plan for unexpected things, plan for if you have to fly back home, if your bike breaks down, plan for how much money you're going to pay in a hotel. If you two up like Reef does a lot, now you got to double the food, because now you got to feed your spouse, and a lot of other brothers I know, they ride with their wives.
I got brothers that have spouses that ain't camping out, and they ain't camping, and you're going to be in a 5-star hotel, period. So
Right. And so when people say, I'm a ground pounder and everything, but they ain't playing for the financials, then you ain't ground pounding too far. You,
Yeah, man. I mean, you're right about that, man. I agree. And I always laugh. I always laugh at, people when it comes down to riding and when people talk about, what they got and what they doing, and then when it comes time to ride, that's a whole nother animal. As far as being a biker, you have to have money for this shit. And a lot of times, and I don't know about, the traditional old school motorcycle clubs, they don't really be understanding from my point of view, hey man, you gotta spend this money. We ain't living in the fucking past, man. It costs money to do this stuff, and people are doing stuff way different than they were doing back in the 70s, in the 80s, and the 90s.
And don't be ashamed. Men get in their macho status and want to go places and know they don't have the finances. Reef and K-Solo has an event, and I didn't go twice. And I saw up in Tulsa, one of the brothers that go there, they said, Logic, why haven't you been there? And I was like, yo, bro, my pennies didn't add up.
Oh yeah. No, I just, man, Pratt, I tell a person in a minute, man, I can't do it. I can't, I can't, as much as I want to do it, I can't afford it right now, because you got to calculate fuel. You got to calculate your time away from work. If you got a job, you got to calculate that hotel expense. You got to calculate eating. You got to calculate that what if. And that what if is a big factor, because you never know what that what if might be.
Exactly. So like Reef will always, Reef is since he's on, he's an excellent brother that will not only encourage you to ride, but he takes care of you. Meaning, I was gonna do a ride up to North Dakota. I don't know if it was Reef. I think they both called me or talked to me. Reef and K Solo said, Logic, I know you got that ride up there, but you ain't going. I said, how's this man gonna tell me I ain't going? Logic, you ain't going. I'm going. I don't care what you say. I'm going. So, all right, you go, but you ain't gonna make it back. That's what you talking about. I said, because it snows up there. you ain't gonna make it back. I'm like, oh, so you need to listen to people like Reef, because he's not gonna just tell you, man, get out and ride your bike. Get out and ride your bike. But he'll make sure, that's part of his legacy. He'll make sure that not only you get out and ride your bike, here's all this other stuff you need along with it. Instead of the people that's rah, I'm a ground pounder, just ride miles. And then you stuck out, bike broke down on YouTube crying, asking people for money. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. Sorry.
Are we talking about?
I regress.
Are we talking about a particular biker right now?
No, I'm not talking about anyone. I'm not talking about anyone.
No, Reverend. I'm sure you wouldn't do that, Reverend. So this picture here is
that's the brother picture to the Bumblebee earlier.
Okay.
They're right down the street from each other, literally 10 miles apart.
Now, this number on your bike, 955, is this a triple digit number he's talking about?
No, that's my Hoka number.
Okay. Wow. So you put that on your motorcycle? It's there forever?
Yeah. Once you start the ride, as long as you don't just quit for no reason, that's your number for life.
Now, when you go back and do the Hoka again, you're going to have that same number?
That is, I just showed you. That's your number for life.
Oh wow! Now these sunglasses you're wearing. Do you wear a particular kind of road sunglasses that you would?
No, recommend? I just wear yellow polarized glasses. I'm a big fan of that yellow cuts the frequency for fog and rain. I have Denali lights and Clearwater lights on my bike. My Clearwater lights are yellow lenses. I can take those lenses off if I'm riding on back roads and it's not raining or foggy and it's super dark. I may take them off. But I'm a big fan of yellow, riding with yellow tint, because it cuts down the frequency for fog and rain.
When I went to Norway when I was in the Navy, I was blown away because every car has yellow lights, and
that's part of the reason why.
And I never knew why they had yellow lights, but all the cars had yellow lights in Norway. I remember that. Okay, so what is this thing here?
That's a big crustacean on the way to Keys. I think in Key Largo, maybe somewhere. One of the Keys going to Key West.
So you just stop at all the cool shit and take a picture?
Yes, sir.
what is this now? This is a picture of another map. What is this?
That's a one trip ride. It's 23 days. It was 18,000 miles solo. Myself and Jim Saul in and out did that ride. That represents 48 states in 10 days. That represents the SCMA Four Corners. We went to Alaska and then we did a border to border. So there's your answer, Motogato. We did a border to border from Canada to Mexico to end it in 18 and a half hours.
Damn.
That was one trip. And I had fuel problems that cost us 2 days in Canada.
Okay. How'd you get it fixed? Do they have Indian dealers up there, or were you at a Harley?
No, we went to a shop called Eye Candy Customs, and they said if it runs on gas, they can fix it. And so what happened was I had water in my fuel tank from a storm in Ohio, in Chicago, and it caused my filter to bust, and it's a charcoal-based filter, so the charcoal was clogging up my ports. And I went to a shop in Washington, and they said they fixed it. And then on the way to in Smithers, British Columbia, it was so bad I had to take it to another shop. So we dumped the fuel, basically made sure the fuel pump worked, and put a temporary filter on and kept on riding.
So this was your previous bike here, or your other bike?
That's my other bike. I still have it. That's my Roadmaster. It has about 150,000 miles on her. That's a 16.
Which one do you prefer, the Roadmaster or the Challenger?
The Challenger. The Challenger has more creature comforts. It's a bigger tank. It's faster. It's a 108 liquid cooled. It has a heated cooled seat that is to die for. But both of them are proven. The only problem I ever had out of the bike that's on the picture now is the fuel problem. I had some other problems with my Challenger, but they're both great bikes. It's just that's the smaller tank, but she's been around the world.
This is Paul Bunyan. Is this?
That is the one in California. They have another one in Minnesota that looks real similar, but that's the one in California.
And what was the Blue Ox's name? I forgot.
Babe, the Blue Ox.
Babe, yeah. This is Checkers. Who is this? Big Boy? I forget
That's
the
the
name.
Big Boy.
Big Boy.
In Detroit, it was Elias Big Boy, but they're named different in other places. But that one there is on the little road headed to Yellowstone in Wyoming. So it's between Cody and Yellowstone. No, that's a different one. That one is in Texas. There's several around the states, but there's another one that looks just like it in Yellowstone, but it sits farther off the road.
Where are you here, man? It's beautiful.
That's the picture. That's right down the street from the other picture that I showed you.
Man, that is so beautiful. You got to know how to riding up in there and that shit.
Yeah, see all the ice on the road.
Frozen?
Yeah, it was frozen.
Did you have both feet on the ground, or?
Yeah. So if you notice on the other side, going the other way is not as bad. So I rode that way, but there was trucks, and they're like, you realize it just stopped snowing like 8 hours ago, and I'm like, yeah, I know. So I rode that side, and then I got back on my road because right before this picture, they had just passed me on the other side, and we stopped and talked, and then I took the picture.
You don't have any duffel bags or anything on the back of your motorcycle.
Man, when you see me ride, you never know if I'm in the city or if I'm in another state. That's how my bike looks all the time. Unless I'm doing a hook and hay, that is how my bike look even when Joyce is on the back. That is how my bike look when we are out together.
Gotta learn how to pack. I thought y'all submarine people know how to pack, so y'all was in that tight spot.
But bro, I got bags hanging off. I got everything. I ain't playing around. I used to ride like this. I would not have anything more than what would go in my saddlebags. And I insisted on a clean. But matter of fact, I used to have people get mad at me because they couldn't put anything on my back seat or whatever. Oh man, you got a whole back seat back there. And I was like, no, man, I like my bike to be clean. Everything I need is on the inside. But as I've gotten older, I do have I started with a bag on the back to hold my dog, and it's called a Pet Palace. And then when my dog passed away, I still had that big bag back there, and I never took it off. So,
you know, that's one thing you learn. Well, I've learned. I can tell everybody learn about when you really ride long distance. When I first began, a lot of people began taking too much, packing too much stuff.
Yeah,
I learned how to get riding gear from Reef and all guys like that. Put your riding gear on, and you don't have to pack as many clothes.
Yeah, you just need base layer, and base layer is thin and small.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I really recognize that, and that's the way I really used to ride, and I didn't have nothing on that luggage rack or nothing, and I really appreciated looking at that. Now I do notice you got, is that a 360 camera up there in the front?
Yes, sir. 360 camera. That other device to the top right is my satellite tracker.
Okay.
And then my water bottle.
And that's it.
And that is how I roll.
That's it. That's
it.
That's clean.
My bike has a GPS. It has its own navigation, but I hardly use it. I normally use my phone.
Yes. Yeah.
When I'm doing big routes, like if for the IBR, I will make a route and I send it to my bike as a backup. But I normally don't use them.
Now, what do you do when your phone isn't tracking? You're in a place where your phone can't get service, so you don't have any GPS there. What do you do for that? Do you have I
already have my routes planned, so as long as I don't turn off my GPS, it'll keep going. And then my bike is a different cell service, so that's why I send it as a backup to my bike. So if I don't have a service with my phone, normally my bike does.
Okay.
And then a lot of times, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Reef. Go ahead.
And then as far as tracking, I do the satellite tracker, so I can communicate via basically email to anybody I want to let them know, hey, I'm good, or I need help, or whatever. That Zolio is the bomb as far as communication go.
Yeah. And then for anybody that don't know, a lot of your apps, they'll allow you to download your route to your phone. So if you do lose service, you still have your route.
But then I travel a little bit, so I tend to know where I am and know how to get out from where I am. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah, true. You do travel a little bit. And is that your name on the back of your bike there? Does that say Reef?
It is.
Okay.
It's also on the front on the windscreen. There's more stickers on my bike now, though. People have tagged me more.
Now, let me ask you this. I don't particularly like those handle grips that have the metal in them because they make my hands cold in the winter.
So wear gloves. So I normally have big paws on those grips anyway, so you don't feel it. But my other bike, I have heated grips, and I may end up going back to heated grips on this bike. I don't know, because I've got heated gloves, so it's not a big deal for me to.
No, I prefer the heated hand grips and the heated gloves. I like both.
That works. I enjoy that when I'm on my black bike.
Because I noticed that sometimes the heated hand grips doesn't stop the wind from hitting the top, so the palms are hot, but the fingers are cold. So I like to have both.
Yeah, I'm going to end up getting the little guards for your hand, but I hadn't. When I went to order them from some, there was a problem and I didn't get them.
Now, have you ever used those big, like they're like big, huge muff things that come off of the handlebars and you have to stick your arms in them?
I was just about to talk about that, Black Dragon. When I was in Alabama, me and Kurz was talking about those. I got the hand guards with the things that Reef said he's about to purchase for his bike. And I called them big socks. And she was telling me that they work, but one thing she was telling me is that since they go over your clutch or your brake, at times it'll hit it. And it'll knock your cruise control off.
Yeah.
Interesting. I've always wondered about those things. I don't like them because I like to put my hands at least one hand on my lap. And you have to stick your hands in there to control the bike or whatever. You got to insert your hands into things. But I think I might like those. They look like they would be even warmer than gloves, even heated gloves is what they look like. I've never had them, but
a lot of my folks that ride FJRs and the Africa Twins and all that, a lot of them have them, but I hadn't had the desire to want to put them on.
Matt,
I like to take my hands off the controls too much, and I think that during the accident that may be more of a hindrance than a help. But
I was thinking that too. Matt calls them hippo hands.
I've seen those. That's a brand, I believe.
Wow, I'm just so excited. Okay, so this is what the hell is this? A seagull? No, this is a
That's
goose.
a goose. That's one of the Canadian goose. It's like 3 or 4 of them in that area, and the view from that place is spectacular. It's spectacular. It's in Wawa, Canada. Somebody just mentioned the Iron Butt sign. There you go. That's the new Iron Butt sign. They just moved not long ago.
So they have a sign somewhere that you can ride to?
In Iowa.
In Iowa? Wow, that is really cool. Okay, so here's what, like 10 or 15 bikers? What is this?
That is us looking at Mount Shasta. That's the group of people that rode with us from Canada all the way to Mexico. I mean Mexico, Canada all the way to Mexico.
Did they all make it?
Everybody made it.
That's the 3 flags?
That's 3 flags.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna do the 3 flags this year, but they canceled it.
Yeah, I keep telling you, you can still do the 3 flags.
You didn't tell me that.
Yes, I did.
Okay, we'll talk after the show. You ain't gonna chastise me.
Yeah, Reef's got that senior chief shit where he just talked to people flat as hell.
He just talked to you any old kind of way, bro. You heard I say it, right? You ain't gonna chastise me on this show.
Okay, senior chief, damn. Cabo Trail.
The Cabot Trail.
Cabot Trail.
It's all up in up in Nova Scotia area. It's a beautiful ride.
Wow, man, this is just amazing. Okay,
Joyce was there. Joyce took that picture. We went up there together.
Who did?
Joyce.
Okay. Where's this?
That's in Texas. That's called Spikehead, and that was part of a rally called Spike.
And that's it's got a bunch of spikes in it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a guy from Hellraisers.
It resembles him, but I don't think that's what the point is.
But he looks like Hellraisers. Yeah. I'm a glad bag man when it comes to heated gear. Is that another?
No, he instead of wearing heated gear, he puts garbage bags up. They wrap them in garbage bags.
I've heard of that and seen that. I've seen people do that. Does it work?
I did it in my sport bike days in rain because I didn't have a rain suit. But my brother's Hero and friends, they used to do it all the time.
This Indian is beautiful, my man. This is a beautiful motorcycle.
Yeah.
The world's smallest Buc-ee's. That's on Highway 90 and somewhere in Texas.
I love the the brown on black, the tan leather on black. That is such a beautiful motorcycle, man.
That's the Quanda.
All 50 states in the year club. SCMA Grand Slam, IBA, $695. Go ahead, man. Hokahay, $955.
I need to update it. So the IBA just came out with their version of a Grand Slam, and the time they came out with it solo, myself and a guy named Bill Karatis, we qualified for it from the beginning. So that's a small elite group that joined that organization too, or that status as well.
This is another Paul Bunyan looking axe thing sticking
the
out.
world's largest axe. That is in British Columbia, I think. No, not British Columbia. It's I don't remember the province. It's headed toward Nova Scotia though.
Wow, that's really amazing. Here you are on the Indian before you got those seats, or is this which bike is this?
So when I hit that pothole in Maine, they gave me a loaner Roadmaster. That was a brand new Roadmaster. So we left from Maine and we went and rode. We took a ferry across the river and then we went to Whiteface Mountain, and that was on our way to Whiteface Mountain.
And that's a telephone there. What is
That's
this?
a telephone. What was the question?
This looks like an old 1920 telephone.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's just a phone. I forgot what it's called. I remember it.
The dialer thing on the bottom, the wind up thing on the bottom. Wow.
Yep, that's the phone that you called the operator. That town was I like one of the first operator stations or something. I don't remember the history of it.
And they had switchboards back then.
Yeah.
Switchboard, yeah.
Yeah.
This right here, this is a NASA space capsule?
No, that's the Wiggin space capsule in Tallulah, Oklahoma. So that in the 50s or 60s, a cement truck crashed, and before they can get the crew to retrieve it, the cement hardened, so they left it there. So now they paint it to look like the space capsule. And there's probably about 13 or 14 around the country.
When he posted this, Black Dragon, he posted this and he said, "What does this remind you of?" You know, everybody started commenting on it. And he was on the road when I commented. I said, "It reminded me of I Dream of Jeannie."
Yeah, it does kind of remind you of I Dream of Jeannie bottle. That's really crazy. Man, that is so okay. Where is this here? Oh,
that's the globe I was telling you about in Savannah, Georgia.
You're not actually holding that thing up, but it looks like it. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's Snacks photo greatness. She is the bomb with camera. Her Snacks and Piper are the bomb when it comes to taking pictures.
Yeah.
Solo's good too.
That is really
And
cool,
Pop
man. Okay, this is you and the wife. Where are y'all here?
We're on the ferry crossing the river.
How many of these trips does she go on with you?
So last year I had to quit her job so she can ride with me. And then she normally does the 3 Flag Classic every year with me. She normally comes to the Ride to Eat. Not always though, but a lot of times she'll come to the Ride to Eat. And then we'll just jump on a bike and go places. Like I want to go. I was just looking at pictures from, I don't know. I think it was South Dakota. I want to take her up to South Dakota. I want to take her. We went right by Niagara Falls, but we didn't stop at Niagara Falls because of the accident. So I want to go back to Niagara Falls.
What is the Titan Award?
The Titan Award is it's the Iron Elite Titan Award. Shout out to Big Sarge. It's been going on for I think 10 years now or so. It's basically it's a biker excellence award. It's not just about riding. It's about giving what you do in the community, giving back to the community, and supporting the biker world. So this year I was recognized. Me and Piper, one of my mentorees, was the 2025 Titans.
Okay, man, that's really awesome. Well, we could go on all day with you got pictures all over the. What is this award here? Iron.
That's the Titan Award.
That's the Titan Award.
That's the Titan Award, and the next one is the Grand Slam Award that we was talking about.
And this young lady got one too. Who
That's
is
Piper.
That's Piper.
Yeah, she's
Piper. That is Piper.
That is Piper.
Wow.
So that was awesome getting an award of this level with one of the people I mentored. That was great.
Oh, look at Piper. Is this Stonehenge? Where the hell is this?
We went there. I was on
that one there is Alabama, I think. So there's one right around the corner from my house in Texas. And then that maybe it's called Stonehenge too. I think that one there though is Bama. It's either Stonehenge 2 or Bamahenge. It's one of the two.
I had no idea they had.
I think Stonehenge 2 was more round, circular. So.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's Bamahenge from the other day. That is our gathering. Every year we do a Ride to Eat, different location. It's a good event. That's the turnout we had. That was at Don Seafood in Hammond, Louisiana last year. We had about 300 people.
That must be the picture I took because I don't see myself in the picture.
I bet y'all killed them crabs, man. Them what are them things called? Them little lobster things.
Crayfish.
Oh, crawfish.
Yeah, big red
No,
roach.
it wasn't. It's not crawfish season when we go there, but we eat plenty of oysters. This year it's going to be in Arkansas. We're staying in Conway and we're eating in Little Rock. So we normally it's supposed to be a ride to eat where you just show up, you eat, tell some lies, take some pictures, and go home. But many moons ago, people like Reef Solo, we don't get to ride with y'all. Can we do a ride? Because after the first one, some people stayed with me and we went to San Antonio and they saw pictures of Riverwalk and they say, well, you didn't tell us you were going. So now it's a kind of an event. We get host hotels and it's a good time. We don't care if you're in a club, you can't wear your club gear. We normally have a ride that's normally somewhere historic. It's a good time.
This is a President Lincoln penny.
That is in California at Lincoln Park. And the Bay? No, Long Beach. That's in Long Beach.
What value do you find in a tank bag? I don't know very many.
Man! So during the Hoka Hey, that top is clear. So we put directions there. I keep several. On that bike right there, there's probably 6 toes transponders, either on the lights or in that bag. I keep food, keep snacks. I normally keep extra ammunition and magazines in that bag. That's a great bag.
So you don't carry on the Hoka Hey though, right?
It all depends on where the Hoka Hey is going. If I'm leaving the country, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm leaving the country, then no.
Is there times that the Hoka Hey doesn't leave the country?
Yeah, last year was the first year that it's went in a couple of years.
So you didn't ride to Alaska on that one? You don't ride to Alaska on that one?
No, not normally.
Wow.
The one last year when they went to Alaska, that recreated the very first run they did. The very first run they did was for money too. That's a whole nother story.
Now, what is this map of?
That is almost all the pins from the SCMA ride last year. So that is all the rides except for the 3 Flag Classic and the 4 Corner. We had to go to every last one of those pins to complete the Grand Slam last year. And again, that's not including the 4 Corners. So there will be a pin down in Key West. There's already a pin in Madawaska, a pin in Blaine.
Wow. These people ain't playing. And this wooden bridge, where are you here?
That is in New Brunswick, Canada. That's where the axe is too. That's the longest covered bridge in the world.
I was gonna say that bridge looks long as hell. I was gonna say I don't remember any covered bridges. Like most of them are like in Alabama now. I don't really know.
Oh no, they're all over America, man. They're in California. They're all over. I posted one on my page the other day from I think Ohio. There's a ton of them out there.
The ones I've written on mostly were like in well, I think maybe because of the book is the ones I went to, the Madison County ones. This is is this one you're gonna get or is this one yours? Your blue?
No, that was my bike when it was sitting on the showroom floor.
Before you did everything to it.
Yeah,
that's really, really beautiful.
Made it in your group, but yeah.
I think
now I don't know where you got these pictures from. I didn't think
we're
that one is mine. You just went to my folder. You went to one of my folders. Like I don't know. That's not mine.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're out of the. I think we've run out of them. So, wow, man. Wow. Hey, man.
That one's mine.
That's one they call American Stonehenge, which is
hardwired. There's, I think, don't quote me on the number, but I think there's 17 different forms of Stonehenge. Matter of fact, there's one called Ponyhenge in Massachusetts. That's just a bunch of ponies, rocking ponies. They made one out of ponies. It's a whole list of them. It's not just one.
So are the Stonehenges are grave sites, right? Is that what they are?
No, the legend has it that Stonehenge is basically some kind of big watch, or it helps for the solar eclipses and all that other stuff, and
It's an astrological type thing.
yeah.
Well, brother, I just want to thank you for coming on the show and us getting a chance to spotlight you and recognize you for putting it down on two like you always have. I recognize that you were a badass rider way back in like maybe 2011 when I gave you. And I'm disappointed that in all the pictures we didn't have the Black Dragon's bull's horn from
You would pull that up.
Huh?
I figured you would pull that up.
There it is right there, man. There it is. That's the award I gave him in 2011.
Yeah, so I got all kind of stuff on my walls, and this hangs on my wall.
Man, that is so cool. I should pull that up. Let me see. Where do I have that picture?
I can't blow it all the time, though. My family laughs at me, so I won't even try to embarrass myself on your show today.
Yeah, it takes a little bit to learn how to blow those things. Here it is. This is way back. You can see the very young guy here.
I was still active duty then.
Huh?
I was still active duty then.
Yeah. And you were a 1%er. Most people don't know that Reef is a former 1%er. Are you retired or did you just?
No, just had to move on.
Just let it go. So he's a former 1%er. He was wearing the diamond then. I had the regional president over here at that time, or the Atlanta president, I can't remember, of his 1% club when I gave him the bull's horn. And that bull's horn, there's a story behind it that we were riding across country, and one of the guys' name was Jersey. We called him the Jersey's bull's horns. And Jersey called me up and he was screaming at me, man, I had a dream that you guys had a motorcycle wreck and you guys caught on fire and you were burning up. And my mother used to tell me that premonitions and dreams are warnings. And if you can change something in the dream, you might be able to stop the thing from happening. So when he told me he had a dream that we were burning up on the motorcycles as we were riding across country, I screamed, Jersey, what were we wearing? What were we wearing? And this guy was able to describe what the hell we were wearing. And so I went to all the bros and I made them change their clothes. And so as we were rolling, we didn't have any trouble. And then we pulled over on the side of the road after we got off of this particular mountain pass. And as we pulled over to the side of the road, we saw a horn of a bull laying on the ground. And we all ran for it. And one of the brothers got to it first. And I looked at it and it was an actual bull's horn. And I put it to my mouth and I knew how to blow a trumpet. So I put it to my mouth and I blew it. And it made the sound of a horn. And so as we got to the hotel room that night, I was looking at this horn and I was thinking about the significance of horns, like the horns that blew down Jericho's wall, minister, and things like that, the shofars that the Jewish folks use. So I started reading about the horns and the significance of the horns, and it dawned on me that horn was a symbol that as long as Black Sabbath riders had that horn when we rode, that we would be safe. And I had Jersey, he would take all our horns and he would pray over them. And so they were the Jersey's bull's horns. And we used to all wear them. They were our nomad horns. For anybody who rode long distance would have a Black Sabbath horn. And when I saw this brother out riding like he was riding, I was like, bro, you need a blessed horn. You need a bull's horn. You need a shofar. You need a religious horn on your bike with you so that you will have the power and protection of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation like we all had. So in order to get the horn, you had to ride 1,000 miles. It was the 1,000-mile Jersey's bullhorn. And he rode so far and everything. And when we pulled up in Atlanta, I made sure he had a horn. So it makes me feel real cool to know that you still have that horn and it's hanging, man. That's cool.
Yeah, matter of fact, that trip I lived in San Diego. I was actually going to Key West to have lunch on the beach. I was going to get the southernmost French toast so I could eat on the beach at the southernmost cafe, and I stopped in to see Black Dragon.
It was good too.
It was good. Oh man, we've been on this thing way too long. 2 hours. Jesus, let's get out of here. Thank you so much, man, Reef. I'm just so glad you're here, and we want to.
Thank you for having me. Honored.
And you, yeah, man. So you've got the Rodecaster Pro 2, do you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's the Rodecaster Pro 2. I know it when I hear it. So I appreciate you, man, and you're such an inspiration to the bikers out there. I wish we could all be like you, but you are a badass brother, man. And coming.
It's a guy that likes to ride his motorcycle.
Just a guy that likes to ride his motorcycle. Yes. So thank you, Reef. I appreciate you, man. God bless you. And we're going to have you back, man. And, those Bessie Bells and so many other people that you've inspired, taught, and trained. You've never left anybody out on the highway like Big Sale, have you?
Oh, there you go.
I don't know. I don't even know what you're referencing.
There's this guy that would take people on roads, trips across the country and get mad at them and leave their ass out there.
I won't leave you because I'm mad at you. That won't happen. But we're big boys and women, so there's rides that we spend a lot of money and time on. So if we're on a ride and you break down, everybody's not staying with you. That's selfish. So we will make sure you're taken care of, and then we're off and running.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So all that no man left behind, that is not in my camp. That's good for a club. That's not good for what I do.
Yeah. I haven't left any brothers on the road. We'll wind up sitting there with you 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, and in a club that's cool and that's to be expected. But for what I do, no, we.
Well, yeah, you're trying to get some shit accomplished. You're trying to get the Iron Butt run, and
right.
One of the one of the biggest things that I did in my motorcycle club that really became popular is, we created our own Iron Butt rides and things like that. But I'm going to tell you something that happened. So, okay, the sergeant at arms or the row captain has to approve it, and we just did all those things: the 1K in a day, the 1,500 miles in a day, all this stuff that we created, like basically watching the Iron Butt. But it was Black Sabbath only, and our guys had all these badges and stuff. But one year we rode across country, and I watched them bastardize the run from brotherhood to, no, I got to get my 1,000 mile in a day patch. And I watched the whole club, guys that were tired or whatever. Other brothers would just leave them like, oh, no, okay, hey, man, we'll catch you on the other side. I'm still trying to get my 1,500 in a day. And so I watched those awards become bastardized, and no longer were they us
about
riding together. They wasn't about the club anymore. It was about, I got to go get my bragging rights award. So I changed the rules, and you can't get an award when the club is riding somewhere. You have to run for those by yourself because you're right. You're out there trying to accomplish something, and that doesn't bode for group riding if you can't keep up with the group. And that's not what emceeing is about. That's what Iron Butt is about, and that's what like what you do. That's what it's about. But it's not what emceeing is about. Emceeing, we break down, we all sit there and commiserate together and sit in the rain together, and that's that. So yeah, that was an interesting point. So it's really cool. Hey man, thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Any final words there or advice there, Reef?
Ride more, talk less, and get out and explore. And if you're interested, look up Get Out and Explore on Facebook and join the group. There's no politics. We don't care about you going to parties. It's about you getting out and exploring, posting pictures of the roadside attractions. So feel free to join us.
Thank you, brother. Thanks.
Thank you.
And an honor and respect. Ah, man, that was a great show, Logic.
Yes, sir.
We got to do more. We got to have more great people on to interview. But
absolutely,
if you guys sat through the whole show, thank you so much. That was a lot, and It was because we had two subjects on today, two subject matters that we needed to cover. But we definitely appreciate you guys for joining with us. Hey, Reverend Logic, man, I appreciate you. I guess our boy Lavish had to run out of here and go to work. So thank you so much, man.
All right, y'all. Keep it logical.
Right. Take care. Keep it logical. You guys can get Keep It Logical on YouTube and Instagram and at Keep It Logical. So make sure to check them out there. I'm Black Dragon. I'm going to let you guys roll. That's my 2 cents. Love to hear your 2 cents in the comment section below. Thanks so much for tuning in. And thanks for hanging out with us this whole 2 hours. And like I say, if you want to be on the show, if you want to be interviewed or whatever, hit me at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com, Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Hit me up there and we will continue on, my man. And you guys come on the show and have a good time. This is your show, your channel. So check us out and be a part of it, participate. If you know somebody that wants to interview, do that. Get them on the show. And make sure to get my newest book, Motorcycle Club Protocol 101, Motorcycle Club Protocol 101 at blackdragonsgear.com, Amazon, and Kindle. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us, and have a great day. Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing into the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
If you are seeking clarity about issues stemming from problems or crises occurring within your motorcycle club, then set up a consultation with Black Dragon. Black Dragon has over 30 years of experience in the motorcycle club world, having served as a national president of the 50-year-old Black Sabbath MC Nation for nearly 10 years. Black Dragon is a veteran negotiator, skilled in crisis management, conflict resolution, inter-club issues, press conferences, and club reputation management. You can set up an appointment to speak with him by phone at clarity.fm/black-dragon. Get the clarity you deserve to help make your MC the best place it can possibly be.
It's definitely a big issue for you too. But I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute. What's up, Mama Roll? I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute and what our responsibilities are and what we need to think about. Because if you don't really know what's going on the set, you can find yourself in kind of a precarious predicament if you make the wrong kind of moves or do the wrong kind of things when this kind of stuff goes on. So, when percenters get into a war with one another, what should 99%ers do? Here's 10 things you should know. Thing number 1, stay in your lane. Find a corner and put your motorcycle club in it. If you're a president, you want to find a corner and put your
down the levels. Tried to tell you suckers, Black Dragon is the man. The Black Dragon is the man. A real OG, bonafide, certified, a true MC. The Biker Boys, the Biker Boys. It's in the house, most definitely. Blow the whistle for Black Dragon, Biker TV. That's right, I said Biker TV. See, one day, young Dragon made his way out the Navy to become a prospect. Some people thought he was crazy, but 5 years later, hard work became a habit. He became the president of the mighty Black Savage Nation. MCs, y'all, respectfully. Black Dragon, Black Savage, MC. That's right, y'all. Give it a thumbs up. Black Dragon Biker TV at its best. Oh yeah, and don't forget to get his prospect Bible book. So proud of him. Man, he just don't know. He's a real legend. And y'all know it, and I know it. That's right, Black Dragon. That's right. Glad I met you, my friend. Black Dragon, I'm the Midnight Ghost Rider. Dub V, y'all. Love you, Black Dragon. Peace. And get skinny. Like and share. Goodbye.